All right. So from a micro perspective, I'm going to explain you what it is really Dreamdata does. Essentially, Dreamdata connects to every single tool that is involved in revenue generation. So that's your CRM, it's your automation system, it's your customer success tool, it's your outbound tool, it's all the ad platforms you use, it's all that takes place on any digital entity, your website, your product, and so forth. If there's any movement on any account, it will get sorted by the account that it belongs to. So what you see here is this field that is called last seen. Every time an account that you're involved with does anything, it will be updated. So this is kind of your, what should we call it? It's an overview of all accounts that your company is dealing with. So let's say you close the deal. Let's say you have a lead or whatever. So this is an aggregation of just well-known companies in the world. But let's look at 7-Eleven. Let's see what we know about 7-Eleven here. So 7-Eleven has had visits from 2 different channels, 3 sessions, and 1 active contact. If I want to look at what is 7-Eleven actually doing, I pull up all the information that Dreamdata has available about this account and have a look. It says here that Vero came in the 1st of February 2020. Next time we saw him was the 20th of February 2020. Let's scroll down and look at his the touches he's had. Seems like he came organically from Google and signed up to the newsletter. Next time we saw him, he came from a newsletter campaign, and again, the 3rd time we saw him was that. Now, let's try and see what happens in a multi-touch perspective, or like a multi-user perspective, which is one of the really big pains of B2B. So here's an account that has had 20 visits with 2 active contacts. Let's try and pull Mannheim up here. Now, Mannheim would typically be a good example of when you lose your tracking, because there's 2 people involved and then it's not the same person you're following anymore. So if I pull this up, you'll be able to see out here that the first person we saw from this account was somebody called Rodenia, who was part of a meeting. Then the next time we saw this account, it's a guy or girl called Rita that comes in directly and books a demo, and so forth. There's a lot of different conversions. There's a lot of different visits. What you want to be looking at is really here to the left side here, that every time that there's a touch that is recorded, it gets a timestamp. We write down who it was that did it, where did they come from, where did they go, and so forth. So in a nutshell, it's every single touch on any account that gets recorded. If there's a specific campaign you're interested in, you can then say, okay, I want to look at the campaigns that were part of this webinar, or the accounts that were part of this webinar. How is it going? Are they having more touches after they were part of the webinar? Do I think it's worthwhile doing a webinar, and so forth? So now I have a view here of everybody who participated in this webinar, and you see there's a lot of people that have had multiple sessions with this demo account. So webinars is probably not all bad.